From that, then we basically came back to the focus group. The focus group had to be on board with it as well before we could go out to the community and present these plans. And this building, I think on the original costings, from memory, I thought was going to be about 8 million. Our funding, I think, turned out to be about half of that. So I think we got about 4 million. So 3 million of that was federal. Then there was lotteries, and then the local community bank donated as well. So we basically came up with half of it for funding, from funding, and then the Shire was basically going to provide the rest.
At that point there, it was pretty much then taken over by the Shire, because it went out to tender, and IPH were the one that won the tender. Patrick and his crew that were involved didn't actually win that, but he came on as sort of like a consultant and did work a little bit with IPH and came out, didn't he?
The actual plan that we took to community in the meetings was the draftsman's plan with the tilt-up building. So, and that was one of the jobs of the focus group, is where do we actually place this building? And that was one of our biggest decisions. We had to basically rank everything in importance, whether it be on this side of the oval, on the other side of the oval, where the bowling green was going to be. Yeah, so when we went out to the community groups, we had a plan. It wasn't this plan, but it was basically where everything was going to fit. And that was interesting. It was all positive. It was really positive. And we thought, this is going to be pretty easy, because we were told, this is going to be an uphill battle.
The involvement after that became less for us, really. It was taken out of our hands.
It was taken out of our hands. So our idea of getting the local builder, gone. Yes. No, we didn't have a choice of that. No, in local government, you just don't do it that way. So
our heavy involvement was because they said, okay, we're going to build this building. But then the thing, it was going to be a completed building, furnished and everything, you see. And then they went, ooh, there's no money. So then our job became, let's see what we can get for almost nothing to try and kit this place out. And we basically just about went out there and begged, stole and borrowed.
Probably one of our biggest achievements was sourcing money to fit this place out. And it was probably close to 100,000 by the time we finished in fitting it out. And so the Shire originally said, no, there's no fireplace in this building. I think it was more because of timber as well, and there was no room up through the roof. And we said, no, that was one of the things that we would wanted to make the place cosy, was a fireplace. We
were sort of thinking, we're going to get our fireplace one way or the other. So that's what we did. We fundraised and got our $5,000, I think it was, that we needed to put in the fireplace. Once
it was all approved, the construction of it didn't take long, and it started, it might have been late 16 or early 17, and it was probably only 18 months to build. And it was meant to be quicker than that, but we had a few delays like you do in the building.
Weather.
But it was officially opened end of August 2018. But it wasn't functional. It was open, but it wasn't functional, and it wasn't until Australia Day 2019 that we had our first function.
Well, considering that I think it's 9 awards that the building has won, international and national and local awards for a timber building, I think, What made this project different to what's happened in a lot of the other communities would be that the Shire actually asked our community to get volunteers involved in canvassing the community to get this building and planning the building.
That original plan, go back to, it was designed by the focus group. We sat down, we said, we want this here, we want that there, we want this here, and that's basically what we've got here at the moment. So that's the difference, I think. Absolutely. At the moment when it was all worth it, certainly when it was built, when it was done, even during the building, it was,
we were up here all the time coming with photos and watching. But just watching, standing out in the oval and seeing it come together, it was, quite exciting to see it all going up. I never felt that whatever I said was silly or whatever. Bruce was always there to listen, and we had phone calls at all sorts of the times of day and night about things and ideas, and texting each other with things that came up. And
her taste in everything was immaculate, really, and she's she's a classy lady.
Oh, thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, very classy taste. So if she came up with an idea, you knew that it would be spot on.